5 most frequently asked questions in the Azure Data Engineering interview. If you are also going for a data engineering interview, then these 5 questions you should prepare. So here comes the first question. So the first question generally asked is integration runtime and self-hosted integration runtime. The question might come like how to copy the data from on-prem to the cloud, or maybe from private network to the cloud. So you should be aware of this self-hosted integration runtime. The key here is whenever you move the data from on-prem to the cloud, or maybe private network to the cloud, you have to use the self-hosted integration runtime. So you create your copy activity. In that you will have the data set for the source, destination, but importantly, you should have the integration runtime. How are you going to create that integration runtime? So you come down here, go down to the integration runtime, say plus new. Under that, choose Azure Self-Hosted Integration Runtime, say Self-Hosted Integration Runtime, and say create. Now, once you click on a create, you will see the key. So this is the key. Now, secondly, you need to go to the server where you're going to download the integration runtime software and say next, install that. And once that installation done, register that integration runtime with this key. How to download? Here is automatically option, download and install integration runtime. So follow that link and download it on a server, and then this will set up. Question number 2. My pipeline was working perfectly fine and my pipeline got failed. Now I want to run a pipeline from a activity which has got failed. So we have to run from a failed activity only. How would you do it? Now, to solve that problem, go down to the monitoring tab. Under the monitoring tab, go down to the pipeline which got failed. So let's say I say last 30 days. Now here I will see some of the pipelines which got failed. So this one, I go down to the pipeline. Inside this pipeline, here on the top you see this option, rerun from the failed activity. So whenever you want to run a pipeline from a specific activity or from the activity on which it got failed, go down to the monitoring, and under this rerun there is an option, rerun from a failed activity. That's how you can run the pipeline from a failed activity. Hello everyone, this is Deepak Goyal here, one of the most followed Azure mentor on LinkedIn with more than 250,000 followers. And I have trained more than 1 lakh working IT professionals to become cloud ready. If you also want to be part of this community for free, there's a one WhatsApp channel link down there. You can join it, and there I am every day sending in interview questions, cheat sheets, and helping guide that will help you to crack the Azure Data Engineering interview. Beside this, if you wanted to have a personal conversation with me, there is a one WhatsApp number down there. You can send me hi and I will help you for absolutely free. Whether it is your resume preparation help or whether you wanted to have some technical discussion, it will be my pleasure to help you. Okay, thank you. Let's move back to the video again. Now, the third interesting question that is mostly asked is how would you move the changes from a dev environment to the UAT environment or the dev production environment in the Azure Data Factory? So understand, in Azure Data Factory, the first thing which you need to do is you need to do the Git integration. So you come down to the Manage tab, and there you have an option for a Git integration. Under this Git integration, you do the connection either through a GitHub or through the Azure DevOps. Although Azure DevOps is a pretty standard in most of the organization if you're following the best practices. So you will have an Azure DevOps, and in Azure DevOps, you do that integration with this ADF. Once you've done this, there is an Azure DevOps team who create the CI/CD pipeline that will move the changes from a dev environment to UAT or the production environment. So that's how the code moves from one environment to the another environment. The question number 4 that interestingly asked in many of the interviews is how we can schedule the pipeline so that it automatically runs. So to run the pipeline automatically, you need to add the triggers. So go down to any pipeline. For example, right now we are into this pipeline. Now, if I want to run this pipeline automatically, what I can do is I can click on add trigger and I can add the trigger. Say new trigger, and then you can decide how frequently you want to run. So the type of the trigger for this is a scheduled trigger. And you can set the frequency. Maybe you want to run every 15 minutes or maybe you want to run once every day. So whatever is your frequency that you want to set, select that frequency, set the time and start the trigger. So using this, you can automatically run a pipeline on a specified frequency. Question number 5. Another interesting question is how you can do the transformation into the Azure Data Factory. So in Azure Data Factory, the transformation generally is done through the data flow. So you have to come down here and say plus and select this data flow. Click on this. Now here is your data flow. You can start adding this source, and once you add this source, you can then add multiple transformation. Maybe you want to add new columns, select few columns, do aggregation, pivot, unpivot, window function, etc. So you have to create the data flow. Data flow under the hood uses the Spark and that do the transformations. And once you're done with all that transformation, lastly, you can add the option of the sync to just save all those transformation into some destination. So that's how you can do the transformation within the data factory. Okay, the counter question on this is whether this is good enough to create the data flow or why we should not go with the Databricks. So when to use Databricks and when to use data flow? The answer to this question is data flow is good when you have a small or a simple transformation. For example, just having a few extra column or removing some extra rows. If these kind of a small transformation, small changes are there, the data flow works pretty fine. But if you are looking for a complex transformation, then Databricks is the way go forward, because in Databricks you can write some logic using SQL, using code, and you can do a lot of manipulation, which is not very much possible through the data flow. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed this video and wanted to watch more videos around data engineering and want to crack the interviews, then don't forget to subscribe this channel and like this video. See you soon into the next video.